The show was brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is your #1 source for the best deals on sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, and a whole lot more. Go to SeatGeek.com or download the SeatGeek app and use promo code BLUESEATS for $20 off your first purchase. That's promo code BLUESEATS only at SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast. Let there be live. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to announce that smooth sack summer is officially upon us. When you're playing in the summer sun, make sure that you're groomed from pubes to bum. Thanks to our friends at Manscaped, you can make this season your smoothest yet. Every man knows how scary it can get when going for a close shave below the belt. That's why I trust Manscaped for all my sensitive areas. The Manscaped Performance Package 5.0 Ultra has everything you need to prepare that summer bod, including the star of the show, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, which features 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads, dual LED spotlights, and did I mention that it was waterproof as well? Oh, and not to mention, if you order right now, Manscaped will throw in 2 free gifts, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. So what the heck are you waiting for? Go to manscaped.com and use our code THPN to get 20% off plus free shipping. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code THPN, only at manscaped.com. Now, if you'll excuse me,
it's smooth sack summer, boys! Get on board or get left behind!
Manscaped, your balls will thank you.
What's going on, Rangers fans? It's your boy, Jimmy Fanizzi. This is From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast presented by SeatGeek. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSeats94 and use the hashtag BlueSeats to interact with us on any and all topics at hand. Also, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and subscribe on all audio platforms, and be sure to rate us 5 stars. It would mean the world to us. So, with NHL free agency still going on, and some of these guys that got signed in free agency getting contract extensions, for example, you had Jake Gensel getting a 6-year extension with Tampa Bay, Steven Stamkos got a 4-year extension with Nashville, Brady Shea got a 7-year extension with Nashville, the works. I've been thinking a lot about a particular goaltender that might be due for a contract extension pretty damn soon. As a matter of fact, he will be a free agent at the end of this upcoming season. Igor Shesterkin. Now, I've been hearing a bunch of talk about how one side is on give him a long-term extension, like a 6-year extension, and then I'm hearing one side saying, no, don't do that. Give him at least a 1-2-year extension. Let him go out there and prove that he's worth it. Listen, I think at this point, Igor Shesterkin has proven that he is one of the best goalies in the NHL. I mean, think about it. The Rangers went from having Mike Richter to Henrik Lundqvist, and now Igor Shesterkin. Now, granted, the only one to win a cup as of right now was Mike Richter. Unfortunately, Hank never won one, and it's a shame he should have, but Igor could be next in line if things play right. But with that being said, this begs the question, should the Rangers give Igor Shesterkin a long-term contract extension? Now, before I give you my answer, let me just pull up some of his numbers so far. This past season, in 55 games played, he had 36 wins, 4 shutouts, a 2.58 goals against average, and a .913 save percentage. Now, if you compare that to the past 2 seasons, starting with the 21-22 season, in which he won the Vezina Trophy, by the way, he only played 53 games, so he played 2 less games that season. He finished 36-13, had a 2.07 goals against average, and a .935 save percentage. And during the 22-23 season, in 58 games played, he finished 37-13, had a 2.48 goals against average, and a save percentage of .916. So, obviously a big difference in save percentage when it comes to Igor Shesterkin. But make no mistake about it, this guy is still proven to be one of the best goalies in the league. No goalie is going to have a .930 save percentage every single year. It just does not happen. But you might be asking yourself, oh, why the drop off on the save percentage over the past couple of years? Well, a couple of factors. Number one, yes, he does give up soft goals, but every goaltender does, and there are some that he would like to have back. So that's one factor. But I think a bigger factor is the team around him. There are times where there have been way too many turnovers in the Rangers' own zone, and it often leads to a goal. Now, there are often times where the puck may be deflected off of a Ranger player into the net. It could deflect off a skate. It could deflect off a helmet. It could take a bad bounce off the boards. There is puck luck involved. But the team around Igor certainly does not help his save percentage because turnovers often lead to great mistakes. Now, I'm not saying that's the only reason. I just listed a couple more reasons right in front of you. But even still, those are the main factors as to why there has been a significant drop-off in save percentage there. However, he is still one of the best in the game. He's not the best in the game, but he's one of the best in the game. But with all that being said, based on all those factors, should the Rangers give Igor a long-term extension after the 24-25 season? My answer is coming up after this word from DraftKings.
Bet the action on the ice with DraftKings Sportsbook. Oh, wait, hockey season's over. But the good news is there are live bets going on right now for next season. For example, Connor Bedard over 81.5 regular season points at -120. You can bet on the Panthers to repeat as Cup champions at +900. There's plenty to bet on for next season at DraftKings Sportsbook. Oh, and I guess you can bet on Major League Baseball as well. No, in all seriousness, there's plenty to bet on at DraftKings Sportsbook. So download the app now and use code THPN. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5. That's code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/hockey terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024, all rights reserved.
All right, we are back. I've kept you waiting long enough. Now, my answer to the question, should the Rangers give Igor Shesterkin a long-term extension at the end of this upcoming season? My answer is no. And let me tell you why. Because I don't want there to be another Henrik Lundqvist situation all over again. If you remember, the Rangers once upon a time gave Henrik Lundqvist not one, but 2 long-term contract extensions. So his rookie year, which was back in 2005, he signed a 2-year, $3.75 million contract. In 2007, he signed a 1-year, $4.25 million contract. Then things got a bit dicey. And listen, I love Henrik Lundqvist. I idolized him. I grew up watching him play. He's one of my idols. I love him. But I'm going to explain what I mean by I don't want another Hank situation all over again. Back in 2008, he signed a 6-year, $41.25 million contract extension. Later on, in 2014, he signed a 7-year, $59.5 million contract extension, which included an $8 million signing bonus and all of the money guaranteed. And how did that work out? No Stanley Cups, but he did make an appearance in the Stanley Cup final, and we'll give him that. And he single-handedly carried that team in 2014, and nobody can debate me on that. But that's A. And B, the teams around him, no good. No good, at least in the postseason. They let him down. They couldn't score enough. And with Igor, it's primarily the same thing. So what I mean by I don't want another Henrik Lundqvist situation is that I don't want to run the risk of signing, granted, an elite goalie in Igor Shesterkin, and he is elite. But I don't want to run the risk of signing him to a 6-7 year extension, and yet he's going to eat all that money. And the Rangers are not going to have enough to try and build a team around Igor to hopefully finally win a Stanley Cup for the first time in 30 years. That's my fear. As much as I love Igor, I love him to death. But what I would do is I would sign him to maybe a 2-year contract extension, maybe 3 if you want to push it. And then you'd still have enough money to get some pieces around him. Now, it all depends on what happens with Jacob Trouba, because at the time of this episode, there are still trade rumors going around that now Buffalo is apparently interested in trading for him. And if the Rangers do decide to let him go, that would free up about, I believe, $8 million in cap space. So if they do let him go, that could free up some space to hopefully get a long extension done. But again, I don't want to run that risk. Build a team that has quality shooters, quality defenders, and maybe, just maybe, the team around Igor will be a lot better than it has been over the past few years. Now, this team, in the regular season at least, was the best I've ever seen this team. Postseason, they also exceeded expectations. But you also saw glimpses of what happened in the postseason, not this past season, but the season before that, in the first round against the Devils. Everybody but Igor disappeared. I don't want that happening again. Don't worry about signing an extension now. Do not worry about it. Wait until after the season is over. Wait to see what happens with Jacob Trouba. And if you have enough cap space and you want to run the risk of signing him to a 6-7 year extension, be my guest. Would I do it? Hell no. I would sign him to a 2 to 3 year contract after the season is over. Okay? And again, depending on what happens with Trouba, get a solid team around him. The Rangers need to get younger and faster instead of getting older and slower. And they can't keep going after guys who are afraid to shoot. This is why I'm practically okay with Chris Drury kind of being quiet so far in free agency. Because, I get it. They signed Sam Carrick from the Oilers, which is a solid signing. It could be. I mean, he only had 10 goals last season. I get that. It's nothing to write home about. But if things break right in the right situation on the right line, he could be a solid piece. And you also traded for Riley Smith from the Penguins, who, by the way, didn't he win a Stanley Cup with Vegas? Doesn't he know what it takes to win? So, in essence, you signed a Stanley Cup champion. And I know what you're going to say, oh, but you also signed Barclay Goodrow to a 6-year contract, and he won back-to-back Stanley Cups. How did that look? Granted, I'll give you that. That was not a good look. Although he did have a great postseason this past year, and now he's back with the Sharks. But my point is this. I like what Chris Drury's doing right now. He's definitely up to something. I don't know what it is, but I know it sucks waiting, but we got to wait and see what he's up to. But again, bottom line is, if you want to sign him to an extension, wait till after the 24-25 season is over. And the sad thing is, people are still going to talk about it during the season. So all the pressure is going to be on him because he's going to go out there and play like he deserves a long-term extension. And then the Rangers are probably going to sign it, and then it's going to blow up in their face, and we're probably going to have a Hank situation all over again. I do not want that. Play it smart, Rangers. Play it smart. Wait until after the season, sign him to a 2-year contract, and build better support around him. Period. That's what I would do. What would you do if you were the Rangers? Would you sign Igor to a long-term extension, or would you sign him to a short-term extension and build a solid team around him? Let me know down below in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. Also, let us know on all social media, Twitter and Instagram at BlueSeats94, and use the hashtag BlueSeats. Let me know what you would do when it comes to Igor Shesterkin. That is going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe and hit that bell on YouTube so you're notified on every single episode. Also, subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and on all audio platforms. And be sure to rate us 5 stars. It would mean the world to us. And one more reminder, we are sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is your #1 source for the best deals on sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, and more. Go to SeatGeek.com or download the SeatGeek app and use promo code BLUESEATS, all one word, BLUESEATS, for $20 off your first ticket purchase. I'm Jimmy Fanizzi. This is From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast. Go Blue Shirts, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!